Hi lovelies, welcome back to UG Update. So guys, let's talk about the Anupama series guys. I'll be talking about quite an interesting episode that will be coming up in the Anupama series pretty very soon. Let's find out what went down between Anupama and the Shahs. But before I continue to the video lovelies, please don't forget that this is still UG Updates. In case if you are yet to subscribe to UG Updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Please don't forget guys to give the video a thumbs up. Alright lovelies, let's dive straight into the video. So guys, let's just start with Prem thinking to have tea after seeing the solid drama. He sees to have tea at the store and feels bad for Anupama. The tea seller gives him tea and then he sees the call and gets shocked to see the name Kaunayag on his phone screen. He pays the money to the tea seller and finds Adia's dress thread on his watch and says Kan had tied the dory. Ishani gets a call and goes, while Anupama says, I know that my daughter is mannerless and misbehaved, but I found her after many years, and says we will rectify her misbehavior later, but we shall celebrate her arrival. Kinjal then says you are justifying her misbehavior. Then Anupama says never, and asks them to think about her, and says she stayed in the orphanage in her childhood, and then again now. She asked them to think how she stayed without her parents, how she reached Dwaka, and says she is Anujgabadia's daughter, but is not stayed in a luxurious environment. She says her attitude and arrogance is her defense mechanism, as she doesn't want to get more hurt. Paki then asks, why did you bring her here? Then Toshu asks, why didn't you let her stay in the orphanage? Then Anupama then asks if you can send Pari to the hostel. She says parents want their kids to stay in front of their eyes. She then says she will not let her go far and will fulfill her responsibility, even if she doesn't regard her as a mother or misbehave with her. She says, I will give her both parents' love. Then Paki then says, you shall disown such daughter. And Pama then says, then I should have disowned you and Toshu long back. Dolly says, they are your own children and Choti is adopted. And Pama warns her and tells that Choti is her Kanha, even if she regards her as Yashoda or not. She says let's start with Ba and says even now you yearn for Vanraj who had eloped, selling everything, and you run to check outside to see if he has come. You can't hear anything against him. He didn't call you even once, but your heart beats for him. She says your daughter Dolly shouts at you and takes out frustration on you all day, but you don't say a word. She then says she had pushed you, which made you wear the waistband for a year. Then also you take care of her. She then asks why you didn't disown both your children. She comes to Dolly and says you yearn for Minu, who had eloped and married. You call her, but she never talks to you. She then says you are on social media all the day to check Minu and Saga's posts. She then says you had made sweets and gave to everyone when Saga brought a new house. She then asks, you have done it for the daughter who talks to me daily, but not you. Why didn't you disown her? She then tells Toshu and Kinjal that they don't like each other and then also you stay together. Why? For your daughter. She then says Kinjal always stops Pari for eating food. Who loves eating food? She says if you think of your children's betterment, then why can't I think about my daughter? If you do it, then it is right, and if I do it, then it is wrong. She tells Paki that you have forgotten yourself to take care of Ishu and sets her timetable. She says Adik asked for her custody, but you didn't give her. She says Ishu wants to go to Mumbai, but you don't let her go and ask her to let her go and disown her. She says if you do it for your children, then it is right, and I shall not take care of my daughter. She tells Toshu and Paki that if he starts counting what they have done, then the counting will not be over. She says don't know what happened to Kinjal that she doesn't speak to her well. She then asks who talks to me good other than Babuji, Ansh, Pari, Mahi and Ishani. She then asks if I ask you all to leave and I disown you, then if it will work. She says you forgive your kids' mistakes, but my Choti's misbehavior irked you. She then says, for parents, the child is dear to them, and my choti is dear to her. She warns them and says that if anyone used the word disown or adopted, then nobody will be bad with me. She says kids might disown their parents, but parents never disown their children until they are alive. She then says, I accept that my choti has misbehaved today, but I need time to make her better, and asks if anyone can get better in a day. She says a relationship breaks in a moment, but takes time to make everything fine. She then asks them to give her time, else they can leave from this house. She says my choti will stay here and with her mother and with full right. Then Mahi, Pari and Ash request Adia to give time to herself and others and says we love you. He says we missed you every day and Anuma cried for you every day. Then Adia gets emotional while Anupama thinks nothing can be fine in a day. Adia rests to sleep in the hall, then Ba looks at her through the binoculars. Paki says, Ba, you scared me. Then Ba says, I am keeping eye on her so that she doesn't steal anything. Adia then asks what is in this house that can be stolen. They taunt her, while Adia says one thing can be stolen and says it is Lila Bihinjula. Ba takes the lock and locks it, asking her to steal it. Then she goes with Paki. Adia misses the orphanage children and says she is missing them a lot. She thinks how they might be managing, what they were eating, while Anupama is resting on the floor and says my daughter is with me after so many years. Mahi comes there and says I came to you and thought that you couldn't sleep. Anupama hugs her, while Mahi says you shall be happy that your daughter has returned. Anupama says I have brought her here from her home. Mahi says it was her helplessness that she stayed there. While Adia calls Bubbly and says she is missing them. She says she is getting panic attacks thinking how they will manage there. Bubbly then asks if you are mad and says we prayed that we shall get a family and mother and you want to come back. She asks her to adjust there and says you will not have any responsibility there. Adia, while panicking, ends the call. And she then recalled the child's words and panics. She finds her forehead hot, while Anupama says my other daughter might be trying to sleep outside. Adia opens the door and gets outside the house. She wears the slippers and falls down, while she recalls Bubbly's words and sets the welcome floral decoration. She then goes out of the house. In Anupama's scene, Anupama tells Mahi that she will go and check on her. While Mahi says yes, then Anupama tells her that she shall go and check in her in the morning, as few hours are left. She might get upset seeing me. Adia is walking on the road when some goons ask her if she is unwell and if they shall drop her somewhere. They surround her and then Adia warns them. Wow, that was quite a lot that went down between Anupama and the Shahs, who were taunting Adia when Anupama brought her back, and they were like Adia is misbehaving due to what Adia did when she came in. Guys, what do you have to say about the episode and what do you have to say about Anupama's mother's love towards Adia? Please drop what you think on the comment section. And as you do that, please don't forget that this is the UG update. In case you are yet to subscribe to UG updates, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. Don't also forget, lovelies, to give the video a thumbs up. Alright, lovelies, that'll be a wrap. Thank you guys for watching up to this point. I really love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next video.